the Go Berserk with Email podcast with Navy nuclear engineer turned email software developer, Troy Broussard. So calm.
I'm pissed off, but I'm telling this because I am teaching you how to think differently and how to test differently.
So patient.
And Ben, that's put $500,000 into this company too, is being told that nobody can find the goddamn bug.
So charitable.
I'm going to start paying bounties every time somebody finds a bug. We're going to deduct $10 for that week.
So trusting.
Do not assume that anything works. Assume that nothing works.
And so sweet, it makes sugar taste just like salt.
I want to play into the sexiness of marketing automation, but I also want to slap the complexity of it.
The Go Berserk with Email podcast begins now.
Troy, is it time to make some people feel bad about themselves? Is that
let's have some yelling and just call out the stupidity right now, man. Let's just go straight into blame, shame, and stupidity. There we go.
All right. That's like politics.
Well, that wraps up politics right there. Blame, shame, and stupidity. You know, it's all in the same political statement. Oh my God! Don't get me started on that, Jonathan. You know,
easy killer. Easy. I'll leave that for Ben. What do you have for us?
At least today? I don't need somebody to lead me off the stage. I'm still able to walk on my own. Yeah. But all right. So 3 stupid mistakes that I see people still making, Jonathan. Still, the worst one is trying to be so damn clever. Trying to be so clever. Quit trying to be clever. Quit like worshiping at the grail of cleverness. You know, I see this especially with copywriters. They spend all of this time and effort copying other people's styles and trying to learn the little tricks and the little tactics and the little hacks. I had some guy say, I saw some stupid thing the other day where he's like, well, if you put a scripture verse at the end of your email under the thing that it gets better inboxing and delivery. Like, seriously? First of all, I hope the bolt of lightning strikes you from the on high, right? I hope you get struck by lightning for that, first of all. I mean, how just, asinine is that to put a biblical scripture quote in your email just because you've heard that it'll get better email deliverability? Yeah, you deserve to be split in half by a striking hot lightning rod. That's what you deserve. So, but just the mindset of people looking after this, clever stuff. They're trying to play little games by putting a little RE colon in front of their subject lines and all these other stupid little hacks, which, by the way, is a spam compliance issue. People don't realize that, but it falls under the deceit category. It is a deceitful tactic because you're not replying to somebody. If you use that in an email subject on a list, we will shut you down or give you a warning because that is non-compliant. And it is something that the CAN spam laws don't enforce, but they do call out. And we enforce beyond the letter of the law. We actually go above and beyond the requirements of CAN spam on our platform, something that I don't think any other platform does, and certainly they don't brag about it. I'm bragging about it. We are more strict on our email standards than CAN spam even requires. CAN spam does not require you to say who the email is from, believe it or not. They require an address. They require you to put an address from where it was sent. They don't require a phone number. They don't require a name. We require a business or personal name. We will not let you send without it. And so this is just an example, but there's other things like this that we do in adherence to the letter of the law of what CAN spam is trying to do, as opposed to the minimal requirement of the actual law. And I hate that. I hate that marketers just bastardize and destroy everything because they try to go to the lowest level of the requirements and the lowest legal we don't do that. We look at it as this is our platform. And I've said it many times. Ben and I have pumped millions into this platform, and Ben and I have always said that if only he and I use it, we'll be okay with that. That we're going to do it in the way that we want to conduct business, and we're going to do it in what works, and we're going to protect our own damn platform. And that means protecting it from the people that come on as well. And that means holding them to a higher level of standard in this industry. You know, we're not going to allow these sleazy, clever, little cutesy tactics to be deployed. So stop trying to be clever. Learn how to write. Stop trying to be clever. Write some more.
I thought that was the same thing. That's one of the things that I always tell people, or I told the guys that were on my team, was there's a big difference from people that get paid to write versus people who write to get paid. Like us as business owners, we write and we have to write well enough to get the money. These other guys write and get paid no matter what, whether it's cute, whether it's not, whether it works or doesn't, they still get paid.
Yeah. You know, I got this email today. This is a perfect example. And this just came in today. And I won't read his name because I don't have permission to use it. But he said, and I'm not making this up, this is what he said: "You're a legend, Troy. I love it. Great work you're doing in the world and great content you're producing. Also, been studying countless email marketers for the past few months, and yours is among the few that I can't quite wrap my head around yet." Now, the reason I'm calling that out is because of the last phrase that he said. The last thing that he said, I can't quite wrap my head around it. Why? Because I'm almost willing to guarantee you that he's a copywriter and he's trying to reverse engineer my formula.
The formula being Troy. How do you do that?
Dude, it ain't going to happen, right? It isn't going to happen. I don't have a formula. And that's why we go to the second stupid mistake, and that is trying to emulate someone else's style. You can't do it. You can't pull it off. Right? You can't be a Troy. It's not going to work for you. You know, when I do my last book title, like literally the title of the book is Troyonomics, right? I mean, it is me. It is my view on the world and economy and how to use trading to offset that and how to build your own financial wealth through investment in yourself and in your trading and finances, right? It's my version of the economy. It's Troyonomics, man. You can't fake that. You can't emulate it. You can't copy it because you don't have the story. You don't have the story, right? I mean, look at the story on lowstressoptions.com. The whole story. It's my Brazilian experience story from how I learned from my father down in Brazil. Not my blood father, but the father that I live with in my experience down there as an exchange student. You can't fake that. You can't, contrive that story. Maybe if you write fiction, but it's real, and it's my soul, and it's my experience, it's my history. Quit trying to gamify the damn system. Quit trying to copy everybody. Quit following all the copywriting nonsense that tells you to go write in his voice 100 times and write it out by hand, and in the stroke of your hand, pressing it in, you'll begin to view the way that... Come on, man. Come on. Just get a personality. Grow a pair, even if you're a guy, and reach down, grab your own personality and let it come out. Quit trying to emulate. Quit trying to copy. Nobody needs that. Trust me, nobody needs another damn Troy in this world. One is more than enough already, Jonathan. There's no need, right?
Yeah.
No need. And quit trying to
nobody needs another
out.
Troy. And for all you guys out there who I know are little Ben Settle fanboys, stop trying to be Ben. That's my biggest complaint with when I get copywriters from Ben. They're all little Bens. And I'm like, dude, this doesn't work. You ain't Ben. Like, learn what he's trying to teach you by getting your daily reps and getting things going. But you're not Ben. Let it go.
They miss the lesson in what he teaches all the time because they're trying to, just like that gentleman that I read, trying to figure out my style.
The formula.
They're trying to reverse engineer a formula, and they're missing the strategy, right? It's the strategy is running them over like a freight train while they're chasing down the tactic on the other side. It's unfortunate, but it is. And I have to say this, and I do really like copywriters, but I'm telling you, copywriters are afflicted by this more than anybody else, and it's because of the way they're trained. They're trained to go out and emulate, and so they become emulators. And I don't think that's real. And it's why I would never say that I'm a copywriter. I never refer to myself as a copywriter. I'm a story seller. I'm a salesman that knows how to write good stories. And I don't consider myself a writer. I consider myself a storyteller. I've always been that. And to me, a copywriter is somebody that can step into somebody else's business and understand it and write for it. And I will never do that.
Right.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just telling you, I will never do it.
You're a businessman.
I'm only going to be in a business that I want to write for. And I'm not going to write for somebody else's business. I'm going to build my own damn business. And I'm not going to trust anybody else to write it or speak for it or express their opinion of it through my content and put my name at the end of it. It's not going to happen. It's called my business for a reason, right? So
Tryonomics.
Quit trying to emulate, man. Quit trying to, and you can't find that book for sale, by the way. People always say, well, Troy, you tell these books and you can't get them. You can get them. If you become a customer of Low Stress Options, you can get it, but it's not an Amazon book, right? I don't sell most of my
such disdain. It's not an Amazon book.
No, it's not, man, because, there's more to it than that. I'm not looking for, a $7 commission off of selling a book on resale rights and letting Amazon do that. Now, I do have some Amazon books up there that are lead generation in nature, but my best content is always content that I sell myself. And in this case, you can't even buy Tryonomics. It is a gift from me.
Gift only. Don't worry, I have mine on eBay. You just look up. You just look for it. Hey, but wait,
go, man.
Forget you heard that. I need you to sign it first.
I get a 50% condition. I've got an NFT attached to that baby, man.
There we go. Now we're talking.
All right. So the third stupid mistake is the sprinters. You can either be a sprinter or a distance runner. And in business, unless you just want to be a tactical chasing machine that starts one spin up and runs to another and runs to another and runs to another, you might as well learn how to be a distance runner. Distance runners are strategic in nature. A sprinter, man, the moment that clock hits, they just go. So what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about an email. A sprinter is the one that comes out and just writes 25 emails, boom, 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 cranks them all out, and then never does anything for months again, and then comes out and sprints again and writes it. And, this email thing just doesn't work. I don't know what Ben teaches, man. This doesn't work. I know how to do it, but it's just not working. No, man, you're a sprinter. You can't just sprint. You've got to stay focused, and you've got to have the discipline of putting in that effort consistently over time. You've got to be a distance runner. Business is a game for the long haul. It's not something you can sprint your way into. And, most people that I see that really struggle with email struggle with the consistency of it. And they're trying to be sprinters. They're thinking that they can sprint their way in and knock a bunch of stuff out real quickly and that's going to solve the problem. No, you've got to put in the continual work week after week, day after day, month after month, and play the long game. So there you have it, man. Those are my 3 stupid mistakes of the day that I really wish I could, just lobotomize email writers of these 3 mistakes, and it will either send them fleeing from writing email or send them with glee. One of the two, flee or glee, baby. That's it. Because if you really embrace these 3 things, you'll actually really begin to enjoy writing, and you'll begin to enjoy the output and the success that you have from it as well.
I will point out that I think about 3 episodes ago, you talked about that secret to growth, and it was patience and discipline. So if you guys haven't listened to that, I mean, it's a recurring theme. Even here, what are we doing? Yep. We didn't do one podcast. We're still doing podcasts, right? Patience and discipline. We're playing the long game. So I love it, man. I love it. I'm glad I got to hang out with you today, Troy, and I know our listeners are too. We will be back in your earbuds next time. That is a wrap for the Go Berserk with Email show.
To get a free Berserker Mail test drive with no credit card required, go to startmytestdrive.com. From there, you can play around inside the platform without pressure. Load up emails and campaigns to see how simple the interface is, and get comfy with everything before deciding to join. That's startmytestdrive.com.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.